की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद से अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गो गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप धाम की जय। स्वामी तो भक्तवृंद की जय। गंगा माई की जय। जमुना माई की जय। तुलसी देवी की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। स्वामी तो भक्तवृंद की जय। All glories to the Assembly Lord. All glories to the Assembly. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Jagat Guru Sri Prabhupada. All glories to our revered speaker for the day, Her Grace Radha Govinda Devi. And all glories to the assembled Vaishnavi devotees. Dear devotees, we thank you all as always. It is an honor that we have Her Grace Sri Radha Govinda Devi with us today, who needs no introduction. And we are very grateful to have her association. I don't have Hare Krishna.
Nice to see you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Nice to see you too.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept.
Would you like to share something? We could make you a co-host.
Yeah, I want to share the verses, yes.
Yes, okay. So, Salika Prabhu, please, you may make
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः मुखाकरोति वाचालं पङ्गोरं गायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदिनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताकस्वामिनिति नामिने नमाचार्यपादाय निताय कृपप्रदायिने गौरकथादामदाय नगरग्रामतारिणे नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Hare Krishna, we are reading from the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, text 20, chapter 20, text 36, 37, and 38. It is a very interesting section of Srimad Bhagavatam, and but very relevant, I would say. Naikatra te jayata salila pada padmam ज्ञात्यामुकरतलेन पतत्पतङ्गम् मध्यं विषीदति बृहत्स्थानभारभीतं सन्देव दृष्टिर्रमलासु समूहा. Oh, beautiful woman, when you strike the bouncing ball against the ground with your hand again and again, your lotus feet do not stay in one place. Oppressed by the weight of your full-grown breasts, your waist becomes fatigued, and your clear vision grows dull, as it were. Pray braid your comely hair. In case you are wondering if this is a Srimad Bhagavatam class, it is it is a very specific section of Srimad Bhagavatam, not necessarily Kama Sutra or something we are reading here. So we read Prabhupada's purport. The demons observed beautiful gestures in a woman's every step. Here they praise her full-grown breasts, her scattered hair, and her movements in stepping forward and backward while playing with the ball. In every step, they enjoy her womanly beauty. And while they enjoy her beauty, their minds become agitated by sex desire. As moths at night surround a fire and are killed, so the demons become victims of the movements of the ball-like breasts of a beautiful woman. The scattered hair of a beautiful woman also afflicts the heart of a lusty demon. Hare Krishna. Iti sayantamim sandhyam asura pramadayatim pralobhayantim jagruhur matva mudadiyastriyam. This one is very important word here. We will keep this in mind when we're doing the verse. Translation. The asuras, clouded in their understanding, took the evening twilight to be a beautiful woman. Showing herself in her alluring form, they seized her. Purport. The asuras are described here as mudadhiyaha, meaning that they are captivated by ignorance, just like the ass. The demons were captivated by the false, glaring beauty of this material form, and thus they embraced her. In a different context, I would be slapped for using certain words, but here we are able to read it. Okay, this is text 38. Rahasya bhava gambhiram jigrantayatmanatmana kantya sasarja bhagavan gandharva apsaram ganan. With a laugh full of deep significance, the worshipful Brahma then evolved by his own loveliness, which seemed to enjoy itself by itself, the hosts of Gandharvas and Apsaras. Purport by our wise founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada. The musicians in the upper planetary systems are called Gandharvas, and the dancing girls are called Apsaras. After being attacked by the demons and evolving a form of a beautiful woman in the twilight, Brahma next created Gandharvas and Apsaras. Music and dancing employed in sense gratification are to be accepted as demoniac. But the same music and dancing, when employed in glorifying the Supreme Lord as kirtan, are transcendental, and they bring about a life completely fit for spiritual enjoyment. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Let's go to this verse here. This is Matva Mudha Dhya Sriyam. Matva, thinking to be. Muda, Dhiyaha, unintelligent. Striyam, a woman. So there is the concept here of desire that actually distorts perception. I want to use some prompts here today, as you can see on my board. It's ready to show you some realizations. What is this? Anybody?
A doll?
Yeah. Yeah, playing doll. No face, no emotions, no intentions, simply standing here. So this is our reality today. The reality of the twilight. Now, let me ask you, what is this? It's a little aggressive, just to.
That looks like baby Krishna.
Yeah, it's kind of like a scary doll. Okay, what is this? What is this? You can say like a hero, okay? Like a hero doll.
Yeah.
The point is, when I hold up this, maybe a little baby can get scared with this red eyes,
Yeah.
when it's dark. Oh my God, there's a ghost, there's a demon. And then if I show this to a child and you see, oh, this is my protector. Look, he has the sword and he can protect me. And then we have this one. What do you look? It's a cute little beautiful doll, right? But the point is, the doll is not the point. The point is our perception. If someone very lonely sees a beautiful looking doll, child, maybe some predator, some pervert sees a little child, and then he can become very lusty also. And so even if somebody lusty, if they, even just by looking at a doll, if somebody can become lusty, what would we say? We would say, hello, dude, this is just a doll. It's your imagination, it's your fantasy. In fact, a lot of people who are addicted to porn or such kind of things, they are just addicted to fantasy or movies, even for that matter. People who watch like a lot of movies, they're not actually watching real people. It's just a fantasy. So the thing is, the doll doesn't change, right? When I'm showing you this, each of us may feel different emotions. The seer changes, whereas the doll, there is the neutrality of what this twilight is. It's the twilight. That's this section of our board here, which represents the Sandhya time, the reality as it is. But of course, the asuras, where this is a projections, when projections happen, then there are asuras, there are different kinds of entities. So when the asura sees the twilight, the Bhagavatam is actually saying that they don't just see not just a woman, they see the object for enjoyment. And the Bhagavatam is calling them Mudadhiya. And their intelligence is actually bewildered. The bewildered intelligence makes that asura, when they see the twilight, the projection is this is for my enjoyment. Again, this the middle object, which is a twilight, does not change. It does not change. So this is neutral. And then when this neutrality of energy is faced upon by the projection of the demoniac energy, which can be represented in so many ways, by the way, we'll get into that. Because the karma, the lust is burning inside the person, they don't see the twilight. It's so, when I read this verse, I was thinking, so many situations that I personally faced, my family, my clients. We are afraid of something that doesn't even exist. We are even attached to something that doesn't even exist. So the asuras, when they see this twilight, they see invitation, they see seduction, they see opportunity, and they think that this is for us, right? So kama, which is a lust, says this is for me. This is meant for my enjoyment. So this is the psychology of lust when the projection happens. So this part don't look yet. We'll get to it later. But try to understand this part, which is the neutrality part. Circumstances, different things that happen to us, different people that talk to us, that don't talk to us, that don't respond to our message, people that comment on our Facebook posts, all that just happens. It's the reality of what is happening. But then with that, how are we perceiving based on our projections, based on our what I call as the parts? Oh, actually, I should be stop sharing so you can actually see my screen better. Okay. All right. So this is the psychology of lust. So lust is not going to ask what is this? What is the truth? Lust will ask, how can I enjoy this? And lust does not see a person. Lust actually sees a function. It becomes a utility. It sees an object. My astrology Guruji often says there are different types of people. Some are optimists, they're very positive. Some are pessimists, always negative. Some are opportunists. They try to take opportunity of the given situation. And opportunists can be negative or positive, but those are the parts here. Some are some pessimism, some optimism, some opportunistic tendency, and some people are very lucky. That kind of comes into the sattva guna. So when a person becomes an object, then exploitation becomes easy. Whether we are in a devotional community, whether we're talking about politics, lust does not see the person. It sees functionality, it sees utility, it sees the object. So this verses of Shrimad Bhagavatam, it's not only teaching us that women are Maya. No, let's not make that mistake. That's not the point of this verse of Shrimad Bhagavatam. Women are not Maya. Lusty vision is Maya. There's a lot of discussion that actually happens about some violence that happens towards women around the world. And a lot of people say it's because the way the woman was dressed. It's because the woman has this whatever tendency of being in this way. But actually, it's the vision. It's beauty is not Maya. Exploitative consciousness is Maya. One time, Srila Prabhupada was approached by some devotees, brahmacharis, that said, you know this Govindam Adi Purusham we sing in the morning? Govindam Adi Purusham. So that particular verse of Brahma Samhita, oh, sorry, I'm actually, my computer just, collapse of reality. Let's see how I will handle it. Something happened to my table. So I would need to take a short break. I'm gonna just come back.
Yeah, this is good.
Is it okay?
Yes.
So I keep speaking while I just fix my table.
Okay.
So Srila Prabhupada was approached by some brahmacharis who said that this Govindam Adipurusham prayer is agitating them. This is a woman singing. The woman, because they were taught that women are Maya. So they were like, Prabhupada, you know what? We are agitated. So Srila Prabhupada, you know what he said? Anybody knows what Prabhupada said? He said, go to the forest if you're agitated. Singing of a woman. He didn't say, oh, okay, get all the women removed from the temple. Let's stop playing the Govinda Purusham. So this again, reflects the principle that we're seeing here, that the projection upon this twilight Sandhya, that is Maya. So lusty vision is Maya. Exploitative consciousness is Maya. So that projection, we have to be very careful to look into our own lives and see what kind of projection is happening. Maya, let's take a moment here to see Maya metam taramdite. So Krishna actually says in the Gita that Maya is energy of his own. His energy, and Maya metam taramdite is very difficult to overcome Maya. It's not very easy. And when you look at this doll, this concept here, Maya does not always mean that there is nothing. Okay? Something is there. See, there's a shape, there's a form. There may not be the color and the face and everything like the other dolls here, but there is something there. The rope is there. The rope is there. But I see the snake. See what I mean? I'm just adjusting my screen so I can see all of you. Okay, because I had two screens. I had one screen, now something is there. I had another screen which you couldn't see, and something happened and my table collapsed and the other screen fell off, where I had the verse. So I have adjusted my machine so at least I can see all of you. I like to see your faces. Okay. Oh, now where are we? We're discussing the Maya concept now. So Maya doesn't always mean that there is nothing. There is something there. So the rope is there, but I see the snake. See what I mean? The snake. What I say, where is the snake? The snake is in my mind. So the twilight is there. The twilight is there. But the asuras, they see an enjoyable woman. That's what they see. A devotee is there. Where is she? I just had a devotee with me. Yeah. The devotee is there. She, two devotees. The devotee is there. And what does the devotee see? The devotee, it sees, oh, it's an opportunity to do my Gayatri. It's actually a good time to chant my rounds. Hmm. And so correction, all this, the correction of consciousness is what we are looking at here. Maya means reality plus a false story. So it's not only a false story because there is something, there is the rope. But then there is the false story. The false story is there's a snake. I hope that analogy is clear here. So much of our suffering, it comes not only from reality, but actual reality of problems, finance, relationship. This person said that, that person didn't do that. Yes, much of it does not come only from reality, because it comes from reality, but not only from reality. It comes from the story that the mind adds to the reality because of all the different projections. What is inside us appears on the outside. I was discussing with a friend of mine today about when we are squeezed, what comes out of us? When you squeeze orange juice, what comes out? Anybody? Anybody squeeze the orange juice ever?
You get oranges.
Orange juice. Very good. Thank you. When we squeeze, wait. When we squeeze the orange, you get orange juice. When we squeeze you, what do we get? When life squeezes you, what happens? So we were discussing the concept when we are put into difficult circumstances, how do we react? We react based on what's inside us. What are our projections? What are our kind of how do we react to twilight, essentially? Because the projection means I take something inside of myself. Maybe it's a desire, maybe it's the fear, envy, insecurity, hunger, some wound, some trauma. And then what I do? I throw it on another person. Then I think that it belongs to them. One scenario. I don't say, I'm afraid. I'm afraid. No, we say they're dangerous. I don't trust them. They are the problem. And maybe instead of saying, I want recognition, I want to be somebody, which is a truth, I say they take too much space. They're too loud. How dare, what audacity. I'm not saying I am burning with desire. Huh? That would be honest, right? That would be a very vulnerable, honest way. See, okay, I'm actually burning with material desires. I really, I'm weak, so I fall for this woman. Instead of that, I may say, okay. So the concept is that this is Asura mentality. Asura mentality is, they say the twilight is seducing me. They don't take responsibility for their karma, they blame the object. So if we ever blame others, we blame circumstances, then it means the mind is coloring the world. It's not the world which is the problem. So that's a huge difference. Yeah, I was thinking of daily examples. Sometimes somebody doesn't reply to a message. That's all. No reply. It's a neutral fact. And then the little child part in us, no, which is neglected and wounded and little, that says, they don't care about me. Nobody cares about me. And then there is remember the angry one? I'm trying to look for the angry one. He's here. The angry mind says, they are disrespecting me. How dare they disrespect me? How dare they ignore me? Like that. And then there may be the anxious part. Oh my God, something terrible happened. I'm bleeding. I'm going to like die. What's happening? So, like that, we have all these different parts at the end. And one of my favorite parts that we're going to little bit have a dialogue with today is the envious part. I kind of picked this one for today's verse. She's perfect. She's like, they reply to others and they don't reply to me. Wait and watch. Hmm. So what is the reality? So let's put her also here, okay? Because she's coloring our concept of consciousness. This is the canvas of our consciousness. So we're looking at what's happening here. What is the reality in this case? What I gave you example. There's no reply yet. Everything else may be possible, but it's not confirmed. Nothing is confirmed. The fact is, no reply. The story is because of the different parts. I'm rejected, someone else has succeeded, I am less, someone corrected me. By the way, we can't ignore this part of us which is vulnerable and weak and which thinks that, oh, I'm not important, I'm not lovable. That's also a big problem in our spiritual lives. So I was reflecting on these verses and thinking that we may not run after the twilight and try to embrace and grab her like the demons, but I do other things which is as stupid as that or even more stupid than that. That's why spiritual life is not only about external morality. It's not. It's actually about having a clean perception. To understand as a devotee, you should understand. By the way, this is the purified vision. This is the purified vision department. In the purified vision, the devotee is serving. You speak nicely, she serves nicely. She may not be thinking me all the time. She's serving Krishna. So the envious doll or the angry doll or the very hurt doll, they may want attention. They want like I deserve this. I want this. Oh, maybe I don't deserve it. Maybe why is this person appreciated? So people should also notice me. I am not discounting that sometimes things are real. Sometimes people around us are very difficult. People do misuse attention. Envy is seeing our own wound. I heard a nice lecture where Swami was saying that envy, envy is a way of insulting God. It's like saying you didn't do your part. You're not doing a good job. So because envy means projection. Oh, where is she? Oh, she's already sitting here. So this is envy one. She's sitting there already in the. Envy is someone else. Envy is projection plus resentment. So it's not only the projection, because in the projection part, you see there are different dolls. Some is like a very aggressive, evil kind of. Another is like cute one, but she's disturbed. Another one is a little bit fearful, anxious. It's there. Projection has that, but when projection of what the asuras are doing in this case, now they're projecting the woman in this twilight and seeing it. Along with that, there will be resentment. That's what envy is. Someone else's success becomes an insult to me. Someone else's beauty becomes a threat to me. Essentially, envy is a very demoniac quality. And someone else's service becomes a competition. So, in this class, I was listening to the Maharaj was actually saying, no, someone else's service is not your competition. You're on the same team. My husband often tells me that if some devotee succeeds and they become rich or they become famous, you should feel happy because you're on the same team of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. But if I forget that, then I fall into this trap of demoniac tendency. Someone else's recognition sometimes becomes injustice. So that's a projection because that's not reality. So the other person may simply be standing there, just like this twilight here. But my mind has turned them into a rival. I tell you, it's incredible the stories that the mind can create and make us believe things. That's why they say only 5% of our subconscious mind is actually put to use, and 95% is actually whatever we believe subconsciously is being running. Only 5% is a conscious mind. Only the 5% of like there's 100%, 5% of our actions and our life is ruled by conscious mind. 95% is ruled by subconscious mind. That's what I meant to say. So let's see here. Let's see this doll, which is angry doll. He looks at the twilight and says, "This is for my enjoyment." And then the envious doll looks at the envious part of a person, looks and says, "This person is against me." So lust projects environment. Envy projects competition. Fear projects threat. And pride projects some inferiority. But bhakti, when we have a purified vision, bhakti, which is very soothing, it reveals Krishna consciousness, which is beyond, which is beyond. And then when we are in a purified consciousness, then we ask, wait a minute, this happened to me, this person actually betrayed me, this person actually ignores me. How is this connected to Krishna? Today something happened with me. I felt neglected and I felt ignored and by somebody that I was hoping to feel belonged with. And then thank Krishna for giving me this class to prepare. And then I said, let me see, let me apply what I want to actually share with everybody today. I said, okay, what is Krishna trying to tell me? How is this situation connected with Krishna? Because I actually felt hurt. I actually felt neglected. Actually, it was my parents. So my parents are visiting me and something happened and I felt a little bit ignored and and I was like, oh, this is really such a bummer, I'm trying to be nice and this is not fair. But then I realized it's good. It's good to be disillusioned and it's good to be detached from expecting that the people that should care for me, people that should wish me well, people should protect me and everything. I'm a 43-year-old lady. I still expect them to treat me like a 3-year-old. So many things actually came up. Many things came up. There was a little part of me that said, I'm your little girl, take care of me. There was another part, I'm so respected. Why don't you realize that my time is so important? There was another part, you don't know how famous I am. There was another part to say, I'm a hero to so many people. You don't realize how great I am. And then I say, oh, you didn't give me enough attention as a kid, but now I'm a woman, you're still not giving me. So many things came up. But ultimately, what Krishna was trying to tell me is blood test time. Like they say, drug test time, like that. Krishna consciousness, like drug test. Let's see, where is my consciousness? And it it can be good to not have the perfect protection from parents, perfect belonging from people around us, because it helps me focus more on what, how, and what actions will please the Lord. Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. How to actually please the Lord. I'm not the center. That's the devotee consciousness. But whereas when I go into the projection arena, it becomes me and mine, and why they're not treating me the way I want, why they didn't grow up. I grew so much. I know so much. They don't know these things. So much projection comes up. So that material vision, it sees according to the hunger. Whereas devotional is how is this connected to Krishna? Okay, so I will pause here and let's have a discussion. Let's see what any of you have some realizations or any questions. We have Kanteya Prabhu, we have so many my friends here. I have Nitya Kishori, Hare Krishna. I see so many of you. I see Prema Rupa Madhavi. Kanteya Prabhu, would you like to say something?
Hare Krishna. Yes, Sri Kantiya Prabhu, thank you so much for being here. So beautiful to have your darshan. Say, Mother Sri Radha Govinda Devi, thank you so much for this katha, and especially with the dolls. It helps a lot. See, I have Srimati Radharani in my background here because I realized the whole of this month, the discussion is so deep. And I'm praying to Srimati Radharani that my attention turns toward her and not anyone else. Because I always thought that I was a demon. I was a devotee, sorry. I always thought that I was a devotee, but from these discussions, I realized that I'm a number one demon because I get attracted by other beauties quite easily. So the beauty might not even be there, but I see it because my consciousness is there. So I'm praying that Srimati Radharani helps me, that instead of seeing what probably is not even there, I should see her, and I should see Krishna, and I should see devotional service. It's easier said than done, but I'm praying and I'm working on it. And I believe devotees are also working on it. Shri Kantiya Prabhu, please give me unmute and share something with us.
I would rather listen to the other devotees.
Well, dear devotees, anyone with a question, comment, reflections, realizations, experiences of this topic, I'm sure everybody has been bitten once or twice or has seen someone bitten by this description the demons are giving us. So please, you may share with us so we can learn. Hare Krishna. Hamsaduta Prabhu, are you still here? Do you have something to share? Well, listen, I would like to share this with you all. I think I have shared this before. When I was quite young, my older brother had a new girlfriend. And this girlfriend my big brother had was really attractive, beautifully looking. So one time he had mentioned it to me that, okay, this person is my girlfriend. And I was young. I was like maybe 13, 14 that time. And then he showed me the lady and I said, oh yeah, she's beautiful. And as I was growing up, I also had a girlfriend. And just by hearing her name, my heart jumps. And I prayed when I joined devotional service, and I started understanding the teachings of Krishna consciousness. I prayed to Krishna that, Krishna, please take away this love from me. I don't want it. If it is love or it is whatever it is, I don't want it. And Krishna has not taken it away completely. It's still there, but it's way, way, way better than before I joined devotional service. So I give thanks to Guru and Krishna. But the question I have is that, Mother Shirada, please help answer this question. The question I have is this. These demons, they don't even know the character of this woman. They don't even know the family the woman is coming from. They don't know anything about the woman. All they know, all they see is the beauty. And most of us do the same thing. We may not know anything about the woman we saw on the street, but just seeing the features, the bodily features of the woman, we say, yeah, this is it. You know, Lord Chaitanya taught us this prayer, Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim. I don't want beautiful women. And I'm wondering, who is that devotee who married his wife without recognizing and acknowledging and appreciating the beauty? So, I mean, I knew this prayer, but I looked for beauty in my wife before we married. Of course, I am a mundane man, so forget about me. Well, please help me understand, and maybe other devotees, why, as conditioned souls, we always look for the beauty first before anything else. Hare Krishna. I've talked too much. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Sahadev Prabhu. They say, no, beauty is skin deep. And I think this principle, no, again, it's not that there is nothing. It's not complete Maya. There is something which is a perverted reflection, no, the Rupa, the form of the Lord, the form of Srimati Radharani, the form of the gopis. It's very attractive. Even Krishna is attracted to that divine beauty, feminine beauty. Feminine energy is something that creates life, that the whole world runs around the feminine energy. So there is the reality aspect of feminine energy has the power to bring life. At the same time, the expectations of I want to enjoy. I know one devotee recently, they said he was so attracted to this particular woman's physical body. Just like you said, Prabhu, he did not care about her character, he did not care about her psychology, whether she's mentally stable, nothing he cared about. And he just wanted to get married. Just impulsive decision to get married. Got married very quickly, not very difficult, but got a child. And then he was desperate to get rid of her. And we tried to convince him, no, it's very adharmic, you shouldn't do it. But then he started telling all the things that he should have thought before he married. This is the reason, this is the reason, that is the reason, and this is. So, yeah, we go through that experience. They say, right, we have 3 ways of learning. One way is we learn by studying, hearing from others. Another way is we learn by looking at other people mess up, trip and fall and break their heads and faces and bank balances and whatnot. And then we say, okay, I don't want to do it. Then third type of people, they never learn. So we have been many, many lifetimes in this. And if Kante Prabhu can actually chime in, because you are a man and you understand a little bit more the psychology of man. When you said about beauty, I was thinking for women it's different. Different women look for different things. Some women, they want good looking men. Some women want intelligent men. Some women want rich men. So, and I thought the same thing with men. Men want something, but they are attracted. But is it enough? I don't know. Kante Prabhu, you have anything to share about the question Sahadev Prabhu asked about men falling in love with the physical form of a woman? And how can they learn the lesson? Why does it happen?
I mean, there is a saying that the problem in the relation between men and women is that it's a saying, it's not Shastra, but can be helpful. It is said that the problem is that women think this man will change and the man will never change. And men think this woman will never change, and women always change in different ways. First of all, sometimes the woman wants to get married, so she's very submissive, very service oriented. Maybe she washes the clothes of the husband saying thank you, and she says, oh, thank you for giving me this opportunity of service. But then after a few years, she may just not always do like this, the 30 or 40 years of marriage. Also, the woman always changes physically, because obviously, Bhagavatam says, woman is like a flower. And definitely every flower at one point, from the material point of view, will the beauty will fizzle out, which is the laws of Prakriti. Of course, we see some very older Vaishnavis that are very beautiful, because there is some radiance coming from their heart, their bhakti. But the material beauty, the shape of the body will definitely change. There's no possibility of keeping it same. So, infatuation is normal, but we should always temper that with some knowledge, even material knowledge, meaning knowing that what we see today is not that what will be there tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you. I was also thinking of astrological planetary transits. Sometimes, when there's Rahu or some weird planet, that's when people just blindly get married to somebody because they really see something that doesn't exist. And then they marry in haste and repent in leisure. Marry or some other decision also, with money, with anything that is attractive, alluring. But then when the positive planet comes and then they learn the lesson, they actually, especially as devotees, they end up truly learning a deeper lesson. So I was seeing that there's also, I remember there was a sannyasi who was having some difficulty, and I had an astrological consultation. And I told that person, don't get married. It's just a phase. It's just 6 months of Venus and transition that you will feel that I want to give up, I want to get married. I said, don't do it. It's just a period. I said, don't make any decision for the next 6 to 7 months. Then if you still want to get married, we'll discuss. And then the person came back after 8 months and thanked me immensely. Because this Maharaj was planning to get married was a complete illusion and fake and fraud, and if he had married, everything would have been ruined. So sometimes it's also about that patience. You may find, something glittering. Oh, look at this. If I can just have it, I'll be happiest man in the world. So just stay, relax. If the person is meant to be, it will come. So just wait. Don't be impulsive. That can save a lot, especially in marriage. Really, don't be in a haste.
Well, thank you so much. Well, we pray that we could have such patience and actually exercise it, because when one is really obsessed, I mean, the intelligence is thrown out to somewhere. We become zombies. So we pray against that. Sati Devi, please, you may unmute. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, I just want to share that a lot of her classes right on with things that I go through. And I was listening to a class with Raja Bihari Das, I think it was. He was like, how to be happy while you're how you're chanting japa, and he was saying that like somewhere in there they talked about like one woman was just talking about like different things she feels like, or she gets a fight with somebody and she's like thinking about why she's chanting japa, and he was talking about his mind and saying he realized that his mind was like always wanting like approval, and I realized that's where it's like something I struggle with, is that I'm always wanting like to see that like people around me have approval of how I'm acting or what I'm doing. My husband and I are often in the hospital a lot because of his cancer, and then I'm always like, I don't want to go to the hospital because I don't want to see so many people, and I don't want them looking at me, and I don't want them like seeing me, and I'm just not in the mood to be around people. And so I just realized that's like what I struggle with. And so a lot of things you were saying were things that I struggle with, like putting something on somebody when that person may be perfectly fine. Like, and I just realized like friendships and like things you have in your life, like you're putting a behavior on somebody that isn't necessarily like who they are or it has anything to do with them. It has more to do with something that you've experienced in the past. So I was just thanking you for that. And I was just thinking that these are things that Krishna's wanting me to hear today because I need to hear them. So thank you.
Thank you, Sati. Thank you
Hare
so
Krishna.
much.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that, Sati.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Shri Hare Chakra Prabhu, you may unmute.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Mata.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Dandava Pranam. All glories to you and all glories to the assembled devotees. Yeah, it's like a follow-up of Sahadev's question. We realize even in the Vedic literature, we see powerful people, personalities like Santanu. Santanu was so infatuated with Ganga's beauty. And apart from that, he was, when Ganga had left, again, he became so infatuated with the beauty of Satyavati.
Mhm.
And if such powerful people can easily be infatuated with these things, then what about us? So are there any techniques that
You're muted. You got muted, Harichak.
if any techniques to help us that when these things come to our vision, we might find a way to just be able to run away from it?
Okay, well, one thing that comes to my mind, it's not a technique, but the goal of life is not to just avoid problems and not ever be lusty. That's not the goal of life. The goal of life is to remember Krishna. So I have seen, whether it's in Srimad Bhagavatam, especially ninth canto, I'm thinking, or in real life stories. I'm thinking of one particular devotee who was very famous, and everybody believed they were saintly, etc. And they got into a lot of trouble because of this thing about women, all the sexual desires, etc. When this person had to fall down and it blew up, like everybody came to know it was a public thing. It was really sad, but we had a discussion from a very compassionate point of view, and we concluded that that was the best thing that could have happened to that person, to be exposed and to become infamous and to lose their power and position and authority and followers. That was probably the best thing that happened to them. Why? Because sometimes we are going a little bit off the course, we are proud, we think we are great, we are this and we are that. And then comes the squeeze. Krishna squeezes something out of our heart, which is not very Krishna conscious. And as the symptom of that, what has to happen is some sort of an obsession. Like you said, great personalities, great yogis, great people. Like I'm thinking of what's his name? What's that rishi who saw the fish mating and then Shaubari Maharshi.
Yeah.
So now he just, great person, complete control of mind and austerities, and he could fly and he had all mystic powers. And then he sees two fish mating, and then boom, finished. It's like, how can that be possible? And like you said, what will happen to us if it happened to great personalities? Sometimes we can see in the history of Srimad Bhagavatam, one of the best things that could happen to them was that they fell in love and they got married. And then, like Shaubari, he went to the king and asked him, I want to get married, Mandata. And he told the Mandata, I want to marry your daughters. And Mandata said, ha, good luck. Look at you. None of my daughters want to marry you. He thought in the mind. And he told him, go try your luck. Any of my daughter that wants to marry you, I will give them in marriage to you. Because Mandata thought it's impossible that any of the daughters will like him. So he didn't want to say no, because this Shaubari was so powerful, he could curse the whole kingdom and everything and be destroyed. Of course, Mandata had such mystical powers. In a second, he became so extremely handsome that all his 50 daughters wanted to marry him. Not one, not two, not five. All 50 wanted to marry him. So he ended up marrying all 50 of them. And then very soon, he actually came to the realization that what have I done? I've completely wasted my time. And, he comes to that realization and he, has his self-realization opening. So sometimes austerities, pride, maybe we are becoming too attached to something else. And Krishna sends a woman as a instrument to break our pride, to shift our focus and our goals, to humble us, to make us vulnerable. A particular situation in my life, I was thinking, I thought this particular lady could be my friend. It was some sort of a belief, like Maya or something. Oh, nobody wants to be her friend, I'll be her friend. So there was this illusion. And I remember the emotion of when the realization came upon me that this is such a bad decision, but I'm glad I went through that, because it gave me lessons that put my whole broader goal on track. So that's what I want to answer, because the goal of life is not to think women are Maya and run around with this sword in the hand like this fellow here, killing all the women around. Because there was a time one particular Maharaj went to Prabhupada and said they wanted to ship off all the women to Australia. So they didn't have any fall downs, and they didn't, because he saw that people were getting married, and at that time he wanted everybody to become brahmacharis and sannyasis. So they wanted to ship off all women to Australia, and Prabhupada said, nonsense. He didn't let that happen. Okay. So yeah, that's my answer. It's not about Krishna consciousness is not about tricks and techniques to stay great and stay sense controlled and never make any mistake and never fall in love with the beauty of a woman. That's not the goal. Sometimes maybe you needed that. You needed that little slap from nature to understand that yes, even a woman can just completely capture your mind. So it shows your strength of your mind and many other things. That's the answer that comes to my mind.
Well, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Maybe not the answer you were expecting, but
Hare Chakra Prabhu, are you still there? I mean, this theme, I had announced to the devotees last month, the month of May, that everybody should tighten up their seatbelts for this month. And I was really sorry for the speakers for this month also, because one devotee may think, oh, Hare Krishna Africa gave me this difficult, complex subject matter. But
yeah,
I think it is like from last week or so all through to the end of the chapter is all this topic. And sometimes, actually just yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. Some of us, we were together in New Vrindavan, and we were wondering Parikshit Maharaj, you are just about to die. You have 7 days to die. And you are told that, okay, if you discuss about Krishna, that is the best way to leave your body. And look at all these questions that have come up. What are these related to your dying? So we were thinking about that. Maybe Madashirada Kovinda Devi and Kuntia Prabhu, maybe you can help explain this. Why Maharaj Parikshit brought up all these topics, which are not, to me, not really needed for a dying person to be concerned about. But he brought them all up. Of course, now we are here enjoying it and learning from it. So why would Maharaj Parikshit go to the extent that he did?
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to sing a verse that answers that question in a certain way. Ma kurudana jana yauana garvam harati nimesha pasya sarvam. Ma kurudana jana yauana garvam harati nimesha pasya sarvam. Mayamayamidam akhilam hitva brahmapadam tvam pravishavidhitam. So this is a song that Srila Prabhupada also quoted. This is a song written by Shankaracharya actually. He says, Ma kuru dhana jana yauvana garvam. So these are all things that we usually take pride in. Youth, beauty, people, like beautiful people in our life, especially the wife, sons, wealth, dhanajana, yauvana, garvam, and other achievements that we have. So Parikshit Maharaj is sitting there with all those. He has all that. He has wealth, he has beauty, he's quite youthful, he's not so old. He has followers, he has beautiful. How many wives did he have, by the way? Anybody knows how many wives Parikshit had?
I know of only one, Uttara.
Prabhu Konteya, he had only one wife, Parikshit. You are muted.
I can check and come back to you.
Okay. Yeah. So the concept, the point of this verse is all these things can become an obstacle in our progress to devotional service. Even in the last minute, especially in the last minute, those things can come in the way. So Parikshit, I mean, this is, by the way, just third canto. You know, if you go to
Oh, sorry, I
canto,
said Uttara. Uttara is his mother, not wife.
yeah.
Right, yes. So I don't know about the wife. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, Arjun certainly had several wives. So the attachment is not necessarily there's qualitative attachment and there is quantitative attachment. The qualitative attachment is what Parikshit is dealing with because he has very short time, but it's not the quantity of, oh, let me not think about, because sometimes as devotees we get into this blind folds. Now I don't want to hear anything else about so I have to become fanatic Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. But it's a quantitative detachment. It's a quantitative way of trying to remember Krishna. But if naturally the detachment has not occurred deep inside with a proper understanding, it will definitely come, and like this little parts jump up. All those parts of us which have been hiding will jump up and say, hey, hello, what is the wrong in going after this woman? We will experience, let's go, let's do it. Or let's go and express our anger. So all those things will come up if we don't deal with it. So one thing I learned from Parikshit Maharaj's questions is that he's in no rush because he knows that the matter of consciousness is not something quantitative. It's actually a qualitative thing. So he's ready and willing to listen to anything, whether it is Srishti, Samhara, Leela, Vila, Satatam, whether it's about universal creation and destruction and all the technicalities and all the analytical things and all that, or about the details of who fell down, how they fell down, what was the psychological, and there was another psychology. Yeah, he wants to understand the psychology of devotees, of devotional life as well. And you know, there's a book which actually speaks about the elephant, the rider, and the path. So the elephant is our emotions, the rider is our intelligence. So no matter how much you tell your mind, you have to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, finish all your rounds by Brahma Muhurta, you should study Srimad Bhagavatam, you should sleep less, you should not be weak. All that is the rider. But if the elephant wants to go somewhere, the rider is completely helpless. The elephant will just go and destroy a whole garden, run around anywhere. So what Parikshit is trying to do here is he's taming that elephant. He's trying to convince that elephant, the consciousness, to be emotionally convinced. That is a mature Krishna consciousness. Whereas immature Krishna consciousness is, hey, we have only 7 days, let's call all different kirtaniyas and just be absorbed in nice kirtan. That would be like, okay, modern day concept. But no, Parikshit is willing to go deep, dive deep into the psychology and into the theology and into the feelings and emotions of the devotees, what they went through, what happened, how they dealt with it. That's my answer. Maybe Kante Prabhu also has something to add besides how many wives Parikshit had.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mata. Uh, when
Yeah.
I asked my question, I was distracted a little bit because I'm at work.
Yeah.
But I heard the answer you gave. Yeah, it was. It gave some inspiration because when you talked about our worry, our problem is not what we are thinking about or what we are being infatuated with, but our main goal is trying to be absorbed in Krishna.
Correct.
If I heard you right,
Yes.
so it means learning how to be absorbed in Krishna is the ultimate thing that is very necessary, and not be thinking about, oh, I think about this, I think about that. Yeah, so I got something out of it. Thank you very much.
Because Krishna is a person, he's a very loving, caring father. If in my mind I keep thinking of that person, I'm thinking like, let's say this fellow, and let me take these two dolls. They're two devotees. This one is constantly thinking about the other one, thinking about the other one, thinking about. And if Krishna thinks that this person needs to go through the traumas and everything with this one to be able to finally turn towards Krishna and walk towards Krishna, they may go through that experience. But if Krishna sees that no, this person is really sincere, they really want to work through it, they have some weakness, but they don't want to give in, then Krishna has that power, the care to help this person go through it very quickly. Something that they have to go through 10 years, he may just let it happen in 2 months. Like some women come to me, like, oh, my husband left me, he was so abusive, this happened, and they get into depression. I tell them, like, be grateful that the abusive guy left you. So now you are without being, abused. So there are circumstances where Krishna can intervene to benefit us. And sometimes it can be benefit by pushing us into a relationship. So we go through that experience sometime. And some other time we want something so badly. I want this, I want this. And when we get it, like Sahadev Prabhu was saying earlier, get it off me. Oh, Krishna, please, I don't want this. This is such trouble. So Krishna sometimes is very tricky to show us, no, look what you got attached to. Yeah. It depends on your desire, your intensity. See, the point is, instead of these two people going through lifetimes and lifetimes, coming back, Krishna may say, okay, once and for all, get together, experience the failure, and then walk towards me. So even in any marriage, the idea is not, the more the people are focused on each other, the relationship fails. But when they come together and walk towards Krishna, that's the success. So I'm just saying that, I don't know, please, Kante Prabhu, you correct me if I go off track here. Fall down is not a big deal. Sometimes it's required to course correct the person's path. So the fall down may be the thing that's going to reestablish them on the right consciousness. Because it may not be so good for them to keep thinking they're so great. So sometimes the fall down is necessary.
I mean, it depends on the nature of fall down, of course.
I mean, in this context of sexual weakness and woman and being attracted by the woman and being weak.
It depends on how many people it affects. But yes, I mean, I was thinking of a particular person, and I thought that, I mean, a fall down would be quote unquote good for this person because it would really diminish his feeling so great. I mean, it's a, Krishna knows what's good for everybody, so I wasn't cursing or wishing him bad. I was just saying that maybe for him, public display of weakness will go a long way to restore his balance. But obviously, it's not a rule. Obviously,
Yeah.
that's best thing if one can work on himself or herself internally. But some people at some stage of their life seems incapable to do that. Anyway, it's something very individual. But in other words, there could be a silver lining even in a spiritual tragedy.
Yeah.
And by the way, Parikshit Maharaj, in the Bhagavatam, it says, it speaks only of one wife, Iravati, but there could be more, but Bhagavatam explicitly only speaks of one. Over.
Yeah, thank you, Shri Kunti Prabhu. I saw that and I was wondering whether Iravati is another name for Madravati, because I checked and I also came across Madravati, like was the only wife of Maharaj Parikshit, with whom he gave birth to Janmejaya. So I would like to check to see whether Iravati is the same as Madravati. No, sometimes devotees may have other names, like Maharaj Parikshit has other names also, but it's the same Maharaj Parikshit. Well, before then, Hamsaduta Prabhu has a question for Sri Radha Govinda Devi. Hamsaduta Prabhu, please, you may unmute.
Hare Krishna, Mother. Please kindly accept my spiritual obeisance, please. All glory to God, Prabhupada. All glory to you, and all glory to wonderful assembly devotees. I'm so inspired and happy to hear you always. I came when you are just finished your submission, but even hearing you for just 1 minute gives me a lot of inspiration, and thank you to be here today. So, Madam, my question is that sometimes a lot of people, they don't want to misbehave or don't want to have a relationship with other women without getting married to them. So in their intention is that they want to get married live righteous life. Most of the time, this relationship, we went with a good heart, but it becomes so toxic, and people become depressed, people become frustrated, and get to the point that they want to take their life. In US here, sometimes people jump, or in Europe or other places, people jump on the train to kill themselves because of what they are going through in relationships. And at the same time, people around them who are supposed to help this person, they're beginning to accuse them. So they feel that they begin to blame themselves, and this create a lot of things in their head, which make a lot of people take their life. And in my case, I become a devotee because of what I went through, the sufferness and everything. And when I look back, I tell myself that I thank Krishna for putting me in this suffering situation to lead me to become a devotee. But at the same time, I also beg Krishna not to put me in the same position again. Mother Kunti always prayed to Krishna to give her sufferness so that she can get closer to Krishna. So in this situation, how can one get his mind away from situations like this? Because the torture, the sufferness, sometimes in your life, when you go through even sufferness, you become like a ghost of yourself. You want to take your life. But like I said, for me, example, what I went through led me to Krishna consciousness. If not, there's no way I will accept Krishna consciousness. But at the same time, I thank Krishna, but I pray to Krishna not to put me in the same position again. So can you help me to how I can get away from this set of mind? This is my question, Hare Krishna.
Sahadev Prabhu, you want to answer? I feel like you have the answer for him.
No, I want to listen with rapt attention because some of us have been through situations like that. Maybe a different flavor, but it's pretty much same problem. And certain problems led some of us to devotional service. And which at the time was bad, but looking back, it was good. However, we're praying that the same thing doesn't happen again, because if it happens again,
Right.
we might not be lucky this time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I would say just like external has, internal also has sattva gun, rajas gun, and tamas guna of reacting or how we face situations. And I'm thinking of this doll that I brought up in the class, the vulnerable one, the one which has certain issues. You see, the concept, you see, the doll is covering and it has the umbrella. It's very cautious, it's scared, it has some past experiences which has hurt it. And it's important to deal with it. It's never a good idea to suppress, because suppression is tamas guna. And you know this in neuroscience, there's the concept of fight or flight. I don't know if you heard that. So the fight or flight is a state of mind which does not allow growth. If we are either in flight or flight, we cannot advance in Krishna consciousness. We just struggle for survival. The only way is to relax your nervous system, be in the mode of Sattva-guna, face those emotions, accept the past, accept our flaws, our faults, but not, again, not accept in a passive way, in an ignorant way. "Oh, I'm not good enough, I'll never improve." Not that kind of negativity, but the acceptance that Krishna has allowed me to have this experience. Krishna wanted me to go through this because there's some lesson for me in it. Not to put yourself down, not to blame others. Na shochati, na kangshati. Sama sarveshu bhuteshu. Not to lament, not to hanker, but and I think, I don't know if this will be a answer, but Rupa Goswami, Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they constantly emphasize that going back to Godhead, which basically means we don't belong here. We actually are somewhere else. We were there, but this is just, the present is just old news. Like, seriously, the present is old news. Just learn to ignore reality. Reality. So focus on that memory garden. The memory garden is, we are with Krishna, we are with Lord Chaitanya, we are serving Radha and Krishna in the spiritual world. That is our, it's not future, by the way. It's our past, present, and future. So if that is our past, what do we do with past? We remember the past. So if we can live our life remembering what we truly want to remember, then we will actually, every second, every day, every relationship, we look at the present as, this is old news. Whatever emotions we're experiencing, this is old news. And we can actually, it's called also teleportation. You can teleport yourself when you're chanting your rounds. You can teleport yourself to be chanting with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, with Lord Nityananda, feeling the ecstasy of the holy name. Or we can choose to look into our other experiences, less exciting experiences of life. So I would say those two things, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, and living, putting your consciousness where you truly remember being with the spiritual ultimate reality and ignoring your actual reality. Those are the two things that comes to my mind. If it helps you in some way to find some inspiration in that.
Yes, thank you, mother. Thank you so much. God, this mind is very, very, very tricky. So, like
Yeah.
you said,
Yeah, but it's also very simple. It's also very simple. If you tell, mind is very, very flexible. It's very malleable. In astrology, moon, it doesn't know the difference between past, present, and future. It cannot. And it doesn't know if it's a 1 minute of affection or 100 years of affection. For moon, the mind, moon, is the same. 1 second of rejection or 1,000 years of rejection is the same. So it's very easy to actually take this mind and actually teleport it. Teleport it to that Hamsaduta who is the best version, the happiest version, the evolved version, most aligned version of Hamsaduta. No? And you see how you feel sitting in that place in your super focused bhajan, you're completely forgiven everybody, you've forgiven yourself as well, and you're completely aligned to Krishna's will. You have complete taste in chanting the holy names, you enjoy Srimad Bhagavatam, and you really are looking forward for the divine leelas. Okay, you're there in that place. How do you feel? Just connect with that
Amazing.
feeling. Yeah.
Amazing.
And just
Amazing.
connect with that feeling, and that's yours. Nobody can take it away from you. Nobody.
Amazing. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Well,
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much for the class and the beautiful questions. I have one last question though. This question we were discussing about it also, that for example, His Grace Kantiya Prabhu has his own beautiful car, and he is a very good driver. And somehow he trusted me, Sahadev, to drive him. And I can be a very reckless driver. Sometimes I'll be a very nice driver. Other times I'm a very reckless driver. And he is not, even though he's in the car, but he cannot move to take the steer away from me to drive. And so now his life is dependent on me.
Hmm.
And I am thinking, why would Krishna? I have lots of questions for Krishna, this Krishna. Why would Krishna allow us, the actual self, to be driven and controlled by the intelligence? And sometimes this intelligence can be very crazy. Other times it's so friendly. But for the most times, especially in the case of all the conditioned souls, I mean, because prior to this date, His Grace Srimad Radha Prabhu helped me understand this, that the analogy Krishna gives in the Bhagavad Gita with a horse, the reins, and the charioteer, the driver is actually the intelligence. So now the soul, the self proper, the soul, who actually owns this body, like I gave His Grace as an example. He owns his own car. The car is beautiful, and he himself is a driver. But he stepped aside and asked me to drive. And now I'm being reckless, and he cannot push me away from the driver's seat. Why would Krishna arrange it that way, that the intelligence become our driver, and this intelligence, I don't know whether it's the intelligence or the mind, whichever it is, but it's one of these passengers. They are dictating to us, this is a very beautiful girl. Oh, you can be happy with this person. You don't care anything else. You saw the beauty, that's all it is. You think about it, it's insane. It makes no sense. But this is the intelligence, the driver driving us. Why would Krishna arrange it that way? This Krishna, why would he arrange it that way?
Well, why blame him? Although, who else can we blame?
He has to be blamed. Krishna has to be blamed. He did it. He designed it all.
There are so many factors, okay? Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says Ishvara, Kala, Prakriti, Karma. So there are many factors, and Bhagavan. It's not only Bhagavan. There are other factors too. Why this person went through this particular issues and why the other person went through something else. It's not like Krishna is not a sadist, okay? He's not a sadist.
I will blame Krishna. I'll blame myself too. I'll blame myself that I also, I don't know whether I allowed the intelligence to control me, or that is just Krishna's design that the intelligence should control me. I don't know which is which. That is why I'm blaming Krishna here, because I'm thinking that Krishna designed the intelligence to control me. But otherwise, then I will blame myself. But if Krishna designed the intelligence to be the driver, then I will question him. Why would he have to do that?
See, we are only looking at why this particular situation. I would say you have to look at the canvas of the whole thing. how you lived your childhood, how you lived your sadhana, how you can't only look at one event. You have to look at the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then you can put a conclusion saying, I did this and I have done that, and my heart was like this, and I still worked on my anarthas. I took care of that little part of me which had all those hidden things, and then still this happened. So it must be Krishna. But we can't jump to Krishna without considering the karma and the kala and the what was the other one? Kala, Prakriti, karma,
Time.
mm, time. Yeah, kala is the time. Kala,
Yeah.
karma, Prakriti, Ishvara. So we can't blame Ishvara the first. We also, like, for example, people know when they come to the doctor, please give me a medicine that will cure all the diseases that I have now because of all the activities that I did, my smoking, my drinking, and everything. One tablet that will cure everything. The doctor will say goodbye. Goodbye. So similarly, some people have that mentality. They have so much baggage of karma, like mountain load of bad karma, and then they say, oh, and we have only what, how much capacity can anybody have to dig from a little spoon? Spoon load of karma you remove and say, why am I still suffering? Because you have mountain load of karma. Krishna is helping you. You know that story? So there was a deal between Krishna and the devotee. The devotee was very, very desperate for Krishna's help. And Krishna said, fine, I'll help you. We'll I'll walk with you, but only on one condition. You shouldn't turn back and you shouldn't see, you shouldn't look at me. Right? I'll help you, I'll come walk with you. So after walking for a while, and then the devotee was like little bit suspicious. Now, is Krishna really walking behind me? Is he really there? So he turned back and he saw, and he saw that the the steps were there. And he walked further, and things became very, very, very hard. And then he looked back and he saw, oh, I don't see Krishna's steps anymore. I only see 2 steps. Earlier I saw 4 steps. Mm. Krishna gave up on me. He betrayed me, you see. You see, he didn't come with me, left me on my own. Very bad. Then when the final destination comes, he says, why, Krishna, why did you do this to me? He says, what? Why did you leave me? I saw I was only 2 steps. I didn't see your footsteps. I only saw 2 footsteps. He said, you idiot, that was 2 footsteps of mine. I was carrying you on my back. And that's why the situation was somewhat bearable. Sometimes, no, we don't realize that Krishna is actually saving us so much. We don't see it. And by the way, Krishna is a very busy person. So many applications, so many people want so many things from him. So we need to be very determined and adamant and keep going again and again. Krishna, please give me the taste, give me the absorption, please purify me. You have to be quite adamant. It's like he has so many people coming and asking him. Can't just ask once and expect that, oh, it's not done.
Well, Krishna is Krishna. Otherwise, from time to time, I feel sorry for him. Answering everybody's question, the dying person doesn't want to die. The carpenter who manufactures coffins wants his business to go on. How does Krishna answer these two people? I think Kusha Prabhu posted something. A lion was chasing after a deer. The lion is praying to Krishna, give me my daily bread. And the deer was also praying to Krishna, please protect me from the hands of evil ones. What do you do? But Krishna knows how to solve all these problems. So, well,
No,
thank you so
you know
much.
what happened to that lion? So basically, the lion prayed, no, please let me catch it. And then the devotee was praying, please, make the lion Krishna conscious. So immediately the lion started to say, Mahaprasade Govinde.
Krishna. That is even more beautiful. But see, I noticed something when you were speaking, Mother Radha Govinda. One of the dolls you were using to help us understand the concept, the main doll, when you stuck it to the canvas, it fell down. And I was thinking to myself, oh, Krishna has listened to our prayers. You know how when we recited the Prematwani, we said, all glories to the assembled devotees. So devotees who are not assembled, they may not get the glory. So, those of us here, that doll which is making us think this twilight is this beautiful woman about it fell down. And so Krishna took that mentality out of our consciousness. So we thank Krishna. At the long run, this is what Krishna has done for all of us here. Yes. About 16, 17 of us here, Krishna has relieved us of this demoniac mentality. That is my belief. And if it's not so, that is my prayer. Hare Krishna.
True, very true. Thank you, Sahadev Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Shri Kantiya, Shri Mangara, does any of you have Madhuvan Prabhu? You always have some intelligent stuff. Govinda Prabhu, before we close the class for today.
Krishna Mother. How glorious to have us feet. Yes. When you said Krishna is saving us so much, so that catches my attention. Krishna is very sophisticated or complicated in the way he operates. For instance, if we just imagine how food is presented on our table, if you can imagine the process when the grain was sown inside the ground, there are minerals inside the ground, there are worms, then sun will do its own, moon will do its own, air will do its own. And then after harvest, farmers, then businessmen also will come in. Someone will cook the food, someone will serve it. You know, all this very complicated process just for you to eat. And these are things we just take for granted. So usually we try to want to understand how Krishna is doing something, but yeah, our brain is too tiny for such undertaking. So like you said, Mother, Krishna made a lot of background arrangements to save us, you know. So sometimes, even when our ego is very big, it can deflate it by giving us some problems. So, so all this is just our own advantage. So and I also want to pacify Amsa Dutta Prabhu. That Krishna will, I'm sure Krishna will not give him those troubles again because it was for a purpose and it's for his spiritual advantage. So he should just concentrate on his spiritual sadhana, get involved or absorbed in it, and we see the miracles will be taking place. Hare Krishna, Mother. Your glories.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madhava Prabhu. Srimad Bharara Acharya Prabhu, you have something to share, please.
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Yes, accept my obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much. Very enlivening. Except I'm just thinking about Saadi Prabhu's question. Why should intelligence be the driver? And I'm trying to look at the real life when we have a driver. I think when we have a driver, it actually relieves us because then you can also do other things, and the driver is is in control because he knows where you're going. You're giving him your instruction, and then you can also do other things. So I'm thinking that Krishna has given us such tools so that we can also meditate on him. I mean, like for instance, if you have a driver, take a real life situation. You have a driver, you can chant. You can have your chanting bag and chanting, and the driver is going on, isn't it? So you're meditating on Krishna, and the driver is doing some work. So there are many other things that the soul, who is the passenger, can focus on, why the intelligence is taking care of certain things. So I guess Krishna actually is giving us such facilities for a higher purpose. Come to think of it, if you have to do everything by yourself, then we will have given up long time. So the mind is what to do, the body is functioning, the body is digesting food, the intelligence is thinking about how to engage on solve some problem, get to somewhere, and the soul still has Krishna to focus on. So I think it is not, it's nothing that we can blame Krishna for, because it's like when we do not, it's like somebody blaming his tool. They say a lazy man will blame his tool. You have a good tool and then you're blaming it. No, the tool is to serve you. And if you use it well, then you get richer, you get more prosperous if you know how to use your tool. So this is one of the tools that Krishna gives us to use to be able to come to him without much trouble. So we cannot blame Krishna for supplying us, giving us facilities and tools to make the life journey easier for us. So that's just my contribution. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Well, Shri Krishna, I'm not blaming you anymore, Shri Krishna. I'm not blaming you anymore. Well, thank you. Shivara Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Shri Govinda Prabhu. Oh, Govinda Devi and Govinda Prabhu. Shri Radha Govinda and Govinda.
Shri Radha Govinda. Please, my respectful obeisance still.
Okay. Do not freeze. Krishna, 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 Krishna. He's driving.
Maharaj just said, I was thinking same thing, but a little different. That the intelligence is a tool. It's a tool, and it's also a navigation or a navigator, like a GPS for directions. And so the mind will detect, but the intelligence will have to analyze and to give the confirmation that what the mind is thinking is. So yes, the driver is there, one very, very driver. But at the same time, even though you ability to drive, but you also have to be guided by the road signs. So you need to follow the directions. You need to follow the instructions. So the intelligence will have to follow the instructions and the directions given by the Lord. So if the intelligence becomes submissive to the laws of God, like Krishna says, that if you listen to me, then you will pass through all difficulties by my grace. But if you do not, then you will be lost. So if you attentively listen to the GPS, it will get us to our destination. But if upon all the instructions given by GPS and we think we know better, and so we do our own thing, then we are going to be lost. So by all means, we have to listen to the intelligence of the Lord. And then the intelligence will be more spiritualized. Otherwise, if you depend on the intelligence to navigate,
then because it is a material tool, it will only take us through this material universe. And that's not where we want to go. In order to transcend that, then we have to listen, pay attention to the dictates of the Lord. And more often, there are so many noise going on in our mind, so many noise going on. And so we don't pay attention to the Lord in our heart. We don't pay attention to what we have learned from the scriptures. So we more often go outside the Lord's desire, the Lord's direction, the Lord's intentions. And that's where we find ourselves in difficult situations. And so that would be my little contribution towards this very point, that we should always try to listen to the instructions of the Lord, just like we listen to the instructions given by the GPS to get us to destination. Otherwise, you can put in any address to GPS. That's going to take you. That means that you listen to mind and tell the mind. Got it. And the first question that was asked about the beauty,
your line is breaking up a lot, and I'm sure he will not even hear us because his line is not very good. He's driving.
Okay. Is it okay now? Is it a little?
Yes. It's okay now. We lost him again. Who is Galaxy A16?
I think that's me. I didn't change my.
Oh, Sati?
Yeah, I signed back in, but I didn't change my
Okay.
thing. I signed back in.
Okay.
He was just reminding me of a prayer by Bhakti Swami, where it says, like, "Dear Lord, I am yours. Use me as necessary. I understand that you're the best thing in mind for me. I know that you're the best friend, best lover, best caretaker, best father. All the difficulties are because of interfering with your plans for me. Therefore, I'm taking time to sleep of faith, trying to ask you to take great interferences and make me do the things that are best." That's how it goes. But he reminded me of that prayer when he was speaking just now, because he was saying that what we're doing is interfering with what Krishna wants for us. So he reminded me of that prayer. I think that's how it goes. Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I hope Govinda's line gets
Hare Krishna.
right. Okay. Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. So I was also thinking about why we get attracted to beautiful women. And I was thinking that not only beautiful women, but naturally, we are attracted to beautiful things because we are spirit souls and part and parcel of Krishna. And it said that the material world is a perfect reflection of the reality, which is the spiritual things. And naturally, we belong to Krishna. And Krishna is the center of our attraction. And Krishna is all attractive. He's all beautiful. And so we have natural inclination about beauty because Krishna is so beautiful and we've associated with Krishna since time immemorial. That is all we know. So anything that is from spiritual world, we hear the flutes of Krishna. And it's so beautiful, it's so charming, so attractive. We love it. And so we're attracted to the mundane music because naturally that is what we are used to. And so I was thinking also about that, that we are attracted to beautiful things because Krishna is the most beautiful personality and it's Krishna that we know since time immemorial. And so having the material experience in this body, pervertedly, we are attracted to beauty of this world. Because that is our the beauty of the Lord. And then also talking about again, why we are treated to beautiful women. Yes, because it's a responsibility. We want to buy something very inferior, knowing that is going to disturb you. And then you spend so much money to go and buy that inferior thing. Nobody wants to stay with. And then marriage means a lifetime responsibility. And so we're looking for the quality.
We are losing.
We are
Govinda.
very much concerned about it. We are very, very much concerned. And so naturally, we go for beautiful things. Not only the external beauty, but we also go for the internal beauty. There is a proverb in our language that your beauty will take you to your husband home, your bride home, but your character will bring you back. So we don't. Beauty we marry is the internal beauty, and that internal beauty is the divine qualities of the Supreme Lord. So we are attracted to beauty externally and also internally, and that is why you can get married to the most beautiful person you can ever think of. As soon as he start demonstrating his real nature, his real qualities from within, immediately you're gonna reject that person. That means you did not marry to the external beauty, but you did marry to the internal beauty. And how do we get that? We get that by yourself become sincere to yourself. If you become sincere to yourself about what you really, really need, not what you want, what you need. You want to marry. Why do you want to marry? That's a question, because the Lord is seated in the heart as a super soul, and he knows your intention. Whether you are going for self gratification is the more reason why you want to get that woman. Is the more reason why you want to get that man. The Lord is right there in the heart, and so he will give you what you deserve. So that is one point. So to solve breakages of marriages, divorce and all that, we the men have to be sincere to ourselves, and the women have to be sincere to themselves. And how do we do that? We do that by praise, because Krishna can give us the best. So once we pray and connect to the Lord and surrender to the Lord for him to arrange for us, the Lord will arrange for a person who is looking for a better husband. Better husband means, as a devotee, a husband that will assist her in her devotional service to return back to Godhead. We're looking for a partner, a woman who will assist her under all circumstances in our devotional service back to the spiritual world. If that is our intention, the Lord, we cannot ask him bread and he will give us stone. So we have to have a better intentions, better desires as to why we are going in for that marriage. And then we depend fully on the Lord. And if you do that, the Lord will arrange for us to get a better partner that will assist us in our devotional service. Anyway, this is my little contribution. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you so much. Well, I was thinking of the minutes Mother Shirada Govinda used speaking in this class, and how much minutes the audience used, and how long we've been here. And it's interesting that our revered speaker actually made this class so interactive that almost everybody became a Vyasadeva today. Thank you so much. Almost everybody became Vyasadeva. Everybody started speaking. So Thank you so much. Sati Devi has shared something beautiful in the chat room. If devotees may be interested, you may take a look at it. If possible, you copy. It's a prayer that His Holiness Bhaktivinoda Swami Maharaj prayed. And well, I like it because it says that if one is very spiritually inclined, then you may pray like this. I remember visiting Maharaj in his house, and I told him point blank that I will not be able to pray this prayer. He laughed, and he said, "Oh, Sahadev, you can do it." But it's interesting. Mother Radha Govinda, if you, oh, sorry, I see Amsadita Prabhu signed up. Are you back in India?
Well, yes, I'm in India and Kante Prabhu is in Italy.
Oh, Kante Prabhu is still in Italy. Oh, so it must be late for you, Mother Shri Radha Govinda.
Yes, and I have to give Bhagavatam class tomorrow here in Mayapur.
Yes. Okay. So, dear devotees, our apologies. We'll have to let our revered speaker.
Oh, but it was very, very nice. It was very nice. Yeah.
In fact, our apologies, because some devotees were telling me that, Sahadev, why do you always give me complex and controversial topics? I said, I'm sorry, I didn't do that. It's Maharaj Parikshit. So, my apologies. This whole month is kind of controversial, and we hope that we all can learn something from them and better our devotional sense. But if you may have some concluding remark, statement you may want to make, then we'll bring this to a close. And like I said, Kante Prabhu, we thank you so much for being here and gracing this Sangha. We really appreciate it so much. So Mother Shri Radha Govinda Devi, please, you may go. Any concluding remark?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Well, that is a heavily loaded concluding remark. Dear devotees, we're going to humbly request you all to kindly unmute yourselves, and we all, with one love, one heart, chanted the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to express our deepest appreciation and gratitude to our beloved speaker, Her Grace Shri Radha Govinda Devi, for sharing her love and wisdom with us, as she oftentimes do. We are all very much spiritually nourished from her sharing today. So we may all unmute. Jai. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare
Vancha
Vancha
Kalpatarubhyascha,
Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sandalya Ivacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha.
Prabhupada Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai.
Jai.
All glories to Her Grace Shri Radha Govinda Devi Ki Jai.
Jai.
All glories to His Holiness Japataka Swami Maharaj Ki Jai. All glories to Jagat Guru Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. All the seven Vaishnavi devotees Ki Jai.
Jai,
All glories to Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai.
Yeah.
jai, 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 jai.